Eureka.
We make plays every day, yeah. 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 We make plays every day, yeah.
Welcome back to the Real Fantasy Playmakers What If series. I am just Bogard scot-free tonight. Unfortunately, Luigi couldn't make it out. I didn't get my permission slip signed to be Luigi tonight, but I am not alone as a host. I am joined by the most notorious man in the fantasy football industry, my guy, the Hustler.
Can you dig it, sucker?
We're getting wild. We're getting wild on a Wednesday night. Here we go.
I never for the life of me could understand like wrestlers, right? Like, or not wrestlers, like the gimmick makers, right? Like, hey, all right, Bubba Ray and Booker T, you guys are clearly from the South, but you guys are Harlem Heat. You know what I mean? Like, or like Rowdy Piper, he's Canadian, but they're like, you know what? You're Scottish. You're just gonna represent Scotland. You know what I mean? Like, I've
got to be the most outlandish characters out there. It's always got to be the story. Their version is always better than real life version. Usually,
I probably would have been like an Arab wrestler. They would have been like, you know what? You're an Arab. You know what I mean? Yeah, but hey, check this out. You can't have a party without our next co-host, and he is the party. He's the fantasy football Peacock.
Yeah. What is up, gentlemen? Nice to be here this evening. It is Wednesday. We are here asking, what if about week 9 coming up now? Wow, we're halfway through the season.
We are at the official halfway juncture of reality football. This is it's flying by, man. You know what I mean? We're in Christmas season basically. The day after Halloween, it's basically Christmas season in current modern day.
I know. In classic Nike app fashion or sneakers app fashion, I got some Halloween shoes that I got on the app 3 days later. So I just got them today. So next Halloween they're on the shelf.
Yeah. Are they made of pumpkins?
No, these are I got them right here. They're like air Prestos or something. Yeah, they're these bad boys right here. This stuff glows in the dark, this cage with the little eyes on it and whatnot. Nike is not a sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, but I like Halloween shoes. I got
but give us money for sure.
Nike give us
money. Exactly. Give us money. Hey, I got a bunch of shoes back there on the shelf, some other Halloween stuff. I'm very into Halloween shoes. So you got some out there you want to send them my way, size 10.5, folks.
Yeah. And speaking of money and giving things, right? You know what I mean? This is another man. He gives us all when it comes to this fantasy shit. And when it comes to cutting edge content, making his Real Fantasy Playmakers debut, it is our man TD Good Sports.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
What's good, bro?
Hey, welcome, man. You made it.
Yeah, man. I'm on a late night tip, so I had to sneak in, man.
Oh yeah, man. How it's that's right. Carolina's in. I'd be forgetting the Carolinas are East Coast time zone. You know what I mean?
It's even later there than where I'm at.
Yeah,
right.
It's like,
you know what I mean?
10 o'clock. So yeah, it's 10 o'clock here.
And we're all over
the time about 10:30.
Oh yeah.
I could be in here at about 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I'm hitting it up. I'm representing all the 9 p.m. folks, and then of course our fine gentlemen up there on the West Coast.
Oh yeah. Hey, and listen, we're just going to and fro all over the time zone, jumping through time zones. You know what I mean? And it's another man who designed it all like it was planned, like it was written. It's our man, JC Money Design.
I like big butts and I can't lie.
Oh, baby, let's go.
I like that you have your own. You have your own entrance song for real.
Yeah. Yep. Caught me on the drunk night. Caught me on the drunk night talking, slurring my words, and talking about big butt receivers.
Yeah, so I want to add some context to this. I'm at home. We're doing a mock draft, and I couldn't join, so I'm just watching on the phone while I'm drafting on the other phone. And he picked a player. I forget who it was. Let's say Cortland Sutton. I
I think
forget
that's
the
what it
exact
was
player.
too.
But he's like, Cortland Sutton. I like Cortland Sutton. He's a big booty receiver, but he meant to say big body receiver. But and I think that's what he said. That's literally what he said. But it was a little matrixy. It got matrixy when he said that.
Straight to the point. I was just, I had a
he likes big booty receivers that he cannot lie. And he'll never get away from it now.
He said that he was like, I got big butts.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right. That's right. You were on that stream, TD.
This shit's so funny.
I like it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, greatness just happens. You know what I mean? It's hard to fabricate greatness. You know what I mean? And that was great. But hey, we got a big
organic.
show tonight.
Just let it happen.
Yeah, right. And you know what I mean? We got a real organic crew right here, man. And before we get to the good what ifs, you know what I'm saying? We want to shout out our other co-host who couldn't make it tonight, but he will be back next week on the Marine's birthday because he is our fellow Marine. Shout out Fantasy Fornicator himself. We're gonna hit it off with his patented segment. Get him for the low, rapid fire. We'll go around the horn. Who we getting for the low right now in fantasy? TD Good Sports. Go ahead and pop this one off. Who you trying to trade for on the low right now?
You put me on the spot on with that one.
I got mine.
Go ahead. I didn't want to give out my guy, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Jermichael Hasty.
Okay.
I say that Elijah Mitchell. Yes, Jermichael Hasty. I say that Elijah Mitchell is never gonna be like a pass down back. So I think Jermichael Hasty can come through in this offense and get some of those PPR targets late in games and with the right game script.
Okay,
I think if you're going to do that, you're going to do it. You're going to do it now, right? So
yes,
do it now. Mitchell's hurt, and Wilson is cleared to practice through that window, but I mean he's not completely activated or full go or anything yet, right? So that's a decent call there. You can get him for free,
Yeah, you might even be able to just pick him up right off the waiver. So to add more context, we're talking about some higher end players, right? That right now that might not be performing to the name brand that they are, where you could try to get them for the low before they start producing again. You know what I mean? So for example, mine right now, I'd say mine's George Kittle. You know what I mean? That George Kittle.
Okay.
The manager who has George Kittle right now is they haven't, my best sales pitch is like, hey man, he hasn't been doing nothing for you yet. You know what I mean? So this, you give him something they could use immediately. And more than likely he doesn't return this week, but did he return to practice at all? I know he's
supposed to be this week, but he didn't today.
Yeah, but he didn't. So
look, the offense isn't. Yeah, the offense isn't one of the top premier offenses in the NFL right now. He has been hurt. And then if the manager that owns George Kittle right now has to wait another week, you can probably get him for the low. So I'm down with that as well. And that's funny that you hit tight end because I was going to talk about another tight end who had a super bad down week because I have him in Dynasty in several leagues. And that is Mr. Travis Kelce, who put up one freaking PPR point in a tight end premium league. What is going on there? That was a super crubby game. So people who have Travis Kelce are wondering what is going on. Chiefs offense is sputtering. They do not look good this year. Mahomes has been, average, to put it nicely. So, Travis Kelce is probably an option that you could probably get for the low because they're out there looking at that one touchdown that went to Tyreek Hill early last week. So I'm thinking that's somebody that you can go out there and be like, look, this guy is not performing. There was a big drop off in redraft leagues. This is somebody you go after. I'm not talking Dynasty right now because this scares me. I own Travis Kelce in a couple of Dynasty leagues, and he's already at that age, and maybe people are figuring out this Chiefs offense. So those are question marks that fantasy owners of Travis Kelce are asking themselves right now. So if somebody came up and wanted to offer me something that I, might want to take a peek at, I would consider giving away Travis Kelce right now. So that's my guy that you would go get for the low this week.
See,
I think Kelsey's fine. I think Kelsey's just
I think
up.
this is the week you get him before this game. If you can,
This is the week you try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
this is the week you try.
People are
Green Bay's-
panicking. People are
Green Bay-
panicking on Kelsey right now.
Yeah, and Green Bay is not, they're not the greatest against the tight end. I think this is a big bounce back game for the Chiefs fantasy wise because this is not only
Look, man, if you look at the moves, the Chiefs just added some rando tight end off of the street and activated him from the practice squad. Like it's like what's going on here? So maybe there's some other issues going on. I'm telling you, as a Kelsey manager, started to trip out a little bit and look into like all these other articles and rumors and things going on. I know Patrick Mahomes came out and said once we click, we'll be fine. But what if that doesn't happen? We're not there yet, but.
What if it keeps clicking away like the Rubik's Cube and you can't just get off? You just can't get it together. Listen,
that's frustrating.
I've adopted the thought process that it's gonna turn around. So I like trying to get Kelsey right now before he does Kelsey things, and then that Kelsey manager is not wiggling him for the low. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, JC Money, what you got?
So I think my get him for the low, coming off a really bad week, especially after the bye week, and especially after watching the PPR points kind of decline after having a big week, is Justin Jefferson. Especially coming off of playing that really bad game.
I thought about trading him today. Like, what do I offer this person to get rid of Justin Jefferson?
A lot of people were talking about it in the Q&A.
Have you looked at his upcoming schedule for wide receivers though? It looks pretty gruesome.
I think he's going to be fine. He bounces back.
It's because I also have Dalvin Cook in that league, and I want to get rid of either or. So that's the only reason I considered it. But yeah, it's crazy that you mentioned him.
You're probably
there you go. And it sounds like you're even trying to sell him low, Peacock. Like right now, didn't like.
I was trying to do like
Don't be afraid of it.
Yeah, low-ish. I was trying to maybe like
Kelsey for the low too. He was like, right now, send me a
in a dynasty. In a dynasty, I was willing to move. I'm willing to move Kelsey right now. Honestly, I'll put that flag out there. But like in in a redraft with this one particular league with Cook and Jefferson on the same team, it's killing me right now. So I think I need to do something because my record isn't great, but I'm only like 2 or 3 wins away from first place and contention. So I'm in the pack. I'm still in the hunt. It's a long season.
I think I stay put. I think I'd stay put. Like they're off the bye week. Like,
I want to diversify there.
That's a good point.
Because only one of them can score on any given drive. You know what I'm saying? Unless Justin Jefferson throws a touchdown to Dalvin Cook or something.
There it is.
Or vice versa.
Or
they hold the ball together and cross the goal line. No, that's not dynasty. It's a redraft league.
They get it's like a half sack. They get credited for half the tug.
Half a touchdown. That'd be great. Just split the points up somehow.
Each. You know what I mean?
All right.
Okay. What you got, Huss?
So I got 2, and it's actually the guys who I mentioned on the last 2 weeks because even doubling down right now and getting it for the low is Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams. People are panicking like hell on them. I see them mentioned all the time on my live stream, like what should I get for these guys? And I see them matched up where a lot of people are trying to sell them for the low. So this is the time to go get it because I've told everybody who hangs with me, don't sell them for the low. Just wait, go get them for the low.
Yeah, I like that, man. Because especially the Adams thing, and then even with what's going on right now, you you probably spook the person's probably spooked, like they're like, oh, Jordan Love's gonna throw in the ball, when really with this matchup against the Chiefs, and it not being Aaron Rodgers, someone who can just survey with them big gigantic eyeballs and just sees the field in panoramic, right? And he can just survey the field. Here's a tunnel vision backup QB who's probably just going to pepper Devontae Adams. So the reality is if you can get him off with that mindset that they think, he's not going to do well for this game. And people right now, like you said, are panicking. They will think about a 1-week win and figure out the rest later. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll make this move now and I'll figure it out later. Like people do shit like that. You know what I mean?
And look, and I'm not going to lie to you. If your record is bad and we're getting to just about the halfway point of the regular season, you should be thinking like that. It's win now, win this week from now. I mean, it should always be that way, right? But if you found yourself in this situation, you got to make some moves to be like, let me win this week because I don't care what I'm giving up. Like, the trend is, Antonio Gibson, he's been blah, blah, blah. Get rid of him and see if you can get somebody who's producing steadily. It's better to be safe.
Yep.
And Bogard and I think, talked about this via text earlier yesterday, that it's like, hey, man, it's a survival of the healthiest at this point. Everybody's going down. So why not just get somebody who's safe and low risk and give away some of these studs you're holding on to? So this is a time to get people for the low and win this week.
That's why you need to sell Dalvin Cook and not Justin Jefferson. Try to sell him.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's what I'm talking about. But I just don't know if I could have sold to the particular kind of trade I was looking to work and get what I was getting in return with this one team that it kind of worked out for both of us. And I got talks going. The Jefferson piece was obviously more interesting to him, so that's where the conversation led. But I was definitely trying to unload Cook.
It comes down to if you have, and Vanessa actually has a question for you, Peacock.
Yeah,
sure. If you have a losing record, it's every week matters. If you have a winning record, every week still matters, but that's where you can think a little bit more about the future, about the playoffs. Maybe give up 2 or 3 players who, like, maybe one's a starter for you, but maybe all 3 players are starters for the other person. You got to look at shit like that. You come up on one big player, consolidate, and make your team more top heavy.
Yeah.
And
so I'm always down for that. Have a heavy flex.
Yeah. So Vanessa said, I'm curious why you want to get rid of Dalvin Cook. I have him, and I know he had an injury. Do you think he's on the decline?
It's not so much that. I think it's the fact that I was talking about that I have both him and Justin Jefferson on the same redraft team. So it's not like I'm holding on to any of these guys for anything in the future. You look at the schedule, it's a little tougher for the receiving option, obviously, and Dalvin Cook is the main guy there, but he's good for you when he's healthy. And when he's not available, it hurts your team, especially because you spent probably like a number 2 draft pick for him this year, which I did in this instance. So it's tough to want to move on from that. But at the same time, I'm last place in this league. But the winning record right now at first place, there's like 5 guys at 5-3, and I'm at 2-5 or whatever it is. So I'm not far out of contention with all this time left. You know what I'm saying? It's just time to make a move and for me to spend my points or kind of diversify my team. In one given drive, the Vikings cannot, like I said, have both Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson scoring on the same given play. So it's not a good stack for me at this point. It hasn't been working out through 8 weeks. It's time for me to move on in some way.
I got a little makeshift what if, right? This is not my what if for the show, but I got one just involving this. Like, what if, what if people are so terrified of Tony Pollard that you might even be able to go to the Zeke manager and be like, here's Dalvin Cook, give me Zeke plus. You know what I mean?
I didn't think about that. I
think at this point, the Zeke manager
Pollard hasn't been very scary lately, but
but there's there's a whole ass community out there that they think this Pollard thing really destroys Zeke. And then I swear they're out there. You might be able to but I know you're
problem is Bogard. I live in Texas. And most of the guys that and this particular league is a local league, local guys. So yeah, the Zeke owner is a Cowboys fan. So he's probably not giving him up.
You might be able to pivot and go to Sir Joe Mix-a-Lot. You know what I mean? Be like, here's
that's something I could probably try to do.
You know what I mean? Plus, you know what I mean? Because
but I feel like that's almost a lateral move, but it's diversifying my team what I'm saying. I'm not, I'm not hedging my own points.
Cook still demands.
It's like playing a defense all year that it's top notch, but you're playing them against your quarterback in the championship or something. It's just it's tough. Tough choices.
I do this week to week, but more so even when we get to this time of year where I start looking 4 weeks down, the next fight. What's the next 4 weeks schedule for the Vikings? If someone could, JC Money, I know you know it off the back of your hand.
I got it here.
JC Money's in Minnesota. He's he has it written on the wall.
They got the Ravens, they got the Chargers, they got the Ravens, Chargers, Packers, and 49ers are the next 4 games.
So you just said 4. You just said 4. So the Ravens, they're number 25, 26 against the run right now. You know what I mean? The Chargers, they can't stop the run. You know what I mean? Great against the pass, funnel defense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the Packers. The Packers middle of the pack against the run. And the Niners, we get ran on. You know what I mean? This just happens. You know what I
Dalvin's
mean?
been a bum, dude. It sucks.
I'm saying Cook is like, if I almost would be the guy trying to buy low. There it is. Get him for the low. Dalvin Cook. I like that schedule moving forward.
For Dalvin, not for Jefferson.
Even
though.
but for
Just-
Jefferson,
Not for Jefferson. See, and then the people
Okay, he
people are
has
saying like, well,
Humphreys.
Jefferson's
That's
probably the
bad.
guy that you should hold on to, but it's hard right now. So I'm just trying to see what I could get for maybe either or at this moment, and maybe whatever I can get in return. That's why I was trying to maybe flip, if I'm getting rid of Jefferson, maybe get a higher end running back and flip it vice versa, so that they get a better receiver in return. You know what I'm saying? For a team that needs that's needy in that situation. But it was really tough to try to navigate through that while doing work today. And look for a trade partner.
Some work, man.
Teams are starting to figure out the Jefferson.
You really got to sit and look at everyone's team. You got to.
Yeah, I'm in 10 leagues. I'm talking about one league in particular where I'm doing bad, and I'm actually trying to work extra hard. You know what I mean? Most of the time, my other leagues, I'm like going through waivers. I set my lineup. I make sure that everything is looking good, and normally it plays out okay. But when you're struggling and then your record's 2-5, you got to look at, okay, something's going on. What's wrong with my team? And you try to find. Like, this team's stacked. What's wrong? So.
Yeah, I start yelling at them. Someone's got to go. I'll be looking at.
Yeah, I'm gonna bench. I leave them on the bench. Right, I'll bench them all, and then I'll put a starting lineup on Sunday morning, and there you go. That way, they are motivated on Sunday to play well for my fantasy team.
I like that.
And real quick before we start getting into all our other stuff. So Stu's in the chat right now. So he's having issues. He's actually messaging me versus the chat. I don't know what's going on with this phone. But so for everyone who's been following Stu's story, he had successful surgery today, and he shouted out me, shouted out Bogard and Justin and Fantasy Good bruh and shouted out the Peacock and said, "What's up, guys?" And then he said,
Stu.
Yeah, shout out to Stu, man. Speedy recovery,
on,
brother.
Stu?
You strong as a bull, man. For real though, man. Like
coming off the IR soon.
Yeah. And
100.
And listen, man, I'm representing the Dream to Walk in the Pace League, and I'm currently sitting at number 1. And in the Dream to Walk League, I'm currently sitting at number 3. And don't even trip, man. I'm gonna take it all home for you, Stu. You know what I mean?
I see that, bro. I saw some of the Pace League posts actually on Instagram, and I see what's your team name in that? It's something to do with Blanca.
Casa de Blanca.
Casa de Blanca, that's right. Because it's Street Fighter. It's Street Fighter themed. So yeah, I saw that in there that you're at the top of the ranking. So congratulations for the halfway through. We're almost there. Let's just pray that continues to happen for you, man.
Dream to walk, man.
I'm also holding it down, man, in my division for the St. Jude Bowl with the fantasy first rounders. I'm 7-1 over there, holding that down right now. So hopefully that goes through, and we can donate some money for all the children with St. Jude. So make sure you guys get into charity leagues when you do play fantasy football. It's the best.
And Stu said, Bogart, you're the man that kicks fucking ass. And he gave me another message here for everyone. He said, I just want to thank everyone for the thoughts and prayers, having all 4 major arteries blocked, this Widowmaker being 99% blocked, multiple invitations I've been through. Been through hell, and I appreciate all you guys listening, everybody on the show. Thoughts and prayers were definitely needed during surgery. Feeling good, and I'm watching the show. Love you guys. I had the equivalent of a quadruple bypass. It's only a stent surgery. I got a few more hours of laying flat on my back, staring at the ceiling, and then I should be on my road to recovery. So you'll see me around real often when I get home.
Yeah, man.
Oh, nice.
That's
get awesome, one of those setups where, like, I don't know, my kids for Christmas gave me like something and kind of goes around and just holds your phone so you can watch whatever the hell you want without using your hands. It's pretty dope. He's kind of using one right now. It's just not on.
He's got a setup now. He's got a webcam. I told him the webcam and the mic that he should buy, and start off cheap, and just keep working your way up. And I know he sounds good and he looks good when he's on camera. So can't wait to get you back on the show.
Yeah,
hopefully everything goes well. Best wishes on the recovery.
Yeah, man. And we just want to send our love right back to you, Stu. We love you, bro. You know what I mean? And thank you for giving us this opportunity to represent the Dream to Walk Foundation in every aspect, man. And we pray for a speedy recovery. You know what I mean? And man, what if he's one of the most inspiring people I've ever met? I'll say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's for
You know what I
sure.
mean?
Baller.
Yeah, man.
And
Shout
on
out to
that
Stu.
note,
Are
we're
we in
about to
that Athens, Greece?
we're about to smoke it up for Stu. It's always 420 somewhere. Manny was on it. He said it's almost 420 in Athens, Greece. So let's get ready to blaze it up.
Yeah.
And this one's for you.
T-2.
Stu. Yeah, let's get it.
No, that's
Hey,
a, be a
hold
good
on.
segue too.
Athens, give me money, right? You know what I'm saying? Uncle Jesse, a fictional character to some people, real to me. Also, the estranged father of Jimmy Garoppolo. But yeah, that's where he derives from. Athens, Greece.
You remember that episode where one of his cousins came
Yeah.
over and from Greece, and that he was a real dirtbag and stuff like that. Was hilarious.
Stavros.
Stavros.
It was Uncle Jesse playing, as the doppelganger, right? You know what I mean? But
Yep.
like, he was a real
Oh,
scumbag.
I totally forgot about that.
He was
Yep,
trying to
yep.
sleep with Aunt Becky.
Oh my
and
god.
they
Next
they
time on
kept,
Full House.
Yeah.
Yep.
and like he kept he was conning everyone. Like I remember he was like playing cards with Joey, and then like he took all Joey's money, and then he was like, "Oh, you have a watch," and he boom takes his watch, and then like he's just conning everyone left and right. You know what I mean? Then he's trying to sleep with Aunt Becky, and then like so they put like a microphone in like some flowers or whatever. You know what I mean? So they can record him like being a sleazeball. Because Uncle Jesse wouldn't believe it. He's like, nah, man, he's from Greece, man. They're real touchy feely. You know what I mean? They hug and love you. You know what I mean?
And there we go. Vanessa's in our age bracket because she said Full House, my childhood show. Love it.
Yeah.
Stavros. You know what's funny is my lady. That's she's obviously the same age as me, right? But so she got into that Fuller House. You know what I mean? I didn't really fuck with it, but like she would be in there dying, like just laughing hella
I saw
hard, and I'm like,
I saw the first season of the new Saved by the Bell. That shit was like addictive.
that was
So
ass.
I'm looking
It
forward.
wasn't them, man.
It doesn't have to be them, and they do come out, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's original. It was good. It's fun. It's all right.
Martin.
You know what?
They
though?
got
I
Not
didn't
Martin.
give
It ain't.
Martin, is there a new Martin? No, there isn't.
No, but they're supposed to be
Oh.
doing one. They're supposed to be doing another spin with it though.
Oh, man,
I
that was
just
the
wanna
best
see-
show. That was the best
I want to
show.
see Martin. I want to see
No,
Martin.
I used to watch that show.
We should have a whole segment where like it's like a countdown. We start off with 10 people, and if your take sucks, we just pull a Martin. Like, no, get out, and then off the stream, remove.
Gina.
That's pretty funny.
Hey, listen. You can kick me off the stream, and I'll just show back up out of nowhere, middle of the night, like, bruh, man, just bruh, man, is that you? He's in there making a sandwich. He came in through the window, bro. Like he just
Chilling, eating a sandwich.
yeah.
Pat would
okay,
just
well,
piss me off.
This is a wish sandwich. Why is
yeah.
a wish sandwich? Wish I had a piece of meat in between it.
snap,
Oh,
man. Hey,
good old days.
Martin, yeah, Martin's one of those ones. Hey, the funny shit with Martin though is like there was a whole ass season. I'm the man, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole ass season, man, where they didn't have Gina because they were having like legal issues, I guess, or like with contracts.
Oh, for real?
Like, so they just had it to
Yeah.
where like she wasn't on the show, but they would make like
On
you
the
pick up the
boat.
phone, Gina, where are you? Or like she was on a boat. Like remember that? She was like
Yeah.
on a boat, like, and they don't show her, but they show like
Oh, I vaguely remember that now.
it was so funny, like the way that you would have to just tie things up with a nice little bow real quick, like, oh, she's out the show, so let's just do something real quick. You know what I mean? Like
People are gonna be like, "Hey, where the hell's Gina?"
we're gonna write her off, like the other sister, Judy, in Family Matters. Like at one point, she was just off the show. Like, it was
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
where'd she go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another one too, man, because I watched them all, bro. I'm
Dude,
from the
there's
hood, and
so
we
many of
still
them
watch
shows
all that
back in
shit,
the day.
bro.
They were
I watched all
Bro,
that
I
shit.
never even realized where she go. That's right. What the
Right?
fuck? I never
She would
questioned it. Nah,
She would always
whatever.
come through with the light skinned nephew, with the light skinned cousin, little Richie.
Richie,
Right? She would always be
Richie,
a little Richie. All of a
yeah,
sudden,
Richie.
she was just gone, right?
And
But
all they
like,
did was
Oh,
replace her with the
shit.
other little kid, 3J, you know, a couple
3J,
seasons later.
the adopted kid from the streets. Hey, he couldn't read. But he remembered all the stats on the Bulls cards, right? So he's like, he had these Bulls cards, and you're like, and Steve was like, oh yeah, he's like, tell me his stats, and he's reading the stats, and he's like, what does that say? And he's like, he couldn't read. He's like, it says upper deck. He's like, you can't read, like, and you know, Steve was like, oh no, because Steve was just like the Renaissance man of all Renaissance men, right? Like he could do anything, and then at the same time wreck shop. Because apparently in the 90s, you always had to have a character that just completely would wreck shop. You know what I mean? Like Tim the Tool Man. His whole show was based
Oh my
around
god, dude, that
him
show's
wrecking shop. You know what I mean? Just like,
with his neighbor. The best part is his neighbor. Like every time
You
his
never
neighbor
see his
shows up,
face.
it's like
Yeah.
you never see
everywhere
Wilson's
too. Like
face.
he'll like walk to that. Like he'll like come out and like you'll be able to see like where he's at. Like he'll like peek into his backyard and like somehow he's like turns and there's something that's always blocking his face.
See, it would be a perfect time to do the show because they would show him and he would be like, boom, he's wearing a mask because it's COVID times. You know what I mean? He would walk in holding a plant, like he's helping him garden. And he'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah. What was his name? Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah,
Wilson.
he's like, oh hey neighbor. Oh
And he
hi.
was
hi,
like-
neighbor.
He was like,
Yeah,
Al was the homie
Al
with
was
the
the
beard.
guy who was on his
Al
co-host.
Borland.
He was the
Al
co-host.
Borland was yeah.
And like he was
The flannel
just
shirt.
Like,
Oh, okay,
sucks his
okay.
shirts off and shit all the time. He's like fucking rips his shirt off.
all the time.
Everything he
Fucking
makes, dude, is
no
always
way.
oh my god. All his shit he makes is just like out of control. His tools he makes. It's like
Hey, that shit is so 90s because look at it.
He's
It
like,
was- they
yeah,
even-
but
the 90s
he's like,
was
yeah,
mad
but I souped it
misogyny.
up with a super Hemi fucking engine. Or it's like, no, you didn't have to
This
do
one-
that.
This lawnmower right here, oh, it looks like a regular John Deere. Oh, it's got a 351 Cleveland block in it.
Man, I think people
Go
are
Lions.
liking this. I think people are liking this 90s talk more than our fantasy, but shout out to Fantasy Chap Flappy Chappers. He said, y'all are definitely the most lit fantasy live stream. Just went on another one for a second. They were boring in dark rooms with monotone, boring voices.
Oh, yeah, because they ain't lit. Listen, I'm not even on shrooms tonight. And this thing, look at this.
to the
You
off
see me
season.
when I'm on shrooms, and it's a real disaster.
Oh yeah. In
my
the
wife
off
said I was
season,
too
we're
late to
definitely
hear. She's like, be quiet.
gonna have some movie shows. I mean, man, we need to have a TGIF show where we literally just talk about these TGIF shows. That'd be hilarious.
It's so
Oh,
crazy
shit.
because there's something different about being a kid growing up in the 90s or even in the 90s and then before that, because you were wired to watch something at a certain time. Like, oh shit, it's Saturday morning. You're like, oh shit, the cartoons, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I gotta get up early
Can to go?
and watch.
You got to make
cartoons.
bowl of cereal
If
and
you miss
pee
it,
during
biggest
commercial
bowl
breaks.
you had in the house. It's really full of cereal.
Right?
Biggest spoon
You
you
know what I
can
mean?
find and just shove that shit in your mouth and watch cartoons in the morning.
Like I literally
Uh,
fucked with
days.
TGIF until like probably junior high, because then we was out and
Yep.
about doing like fuck shit
Yep.
already. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It was like,
Well,
all
then
right,
the lineup was
Yeah.
kind of crap too by that time.
you know what I mean?
Night
Yeah, all the
Game.
shows were.
Y'all
they
remember
had, like,
Topanga?
Sabrina. They had
Oh,
Sabrina
yeah.
the
Y'all remember
Teenage
Topanga?
Witch and shit. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, Topanga was thick. back in
Topanga
the
was
days.
right.
And Corey.
And then
Topanga
when
was
she got
cool.
older,
Yeah.
she got older. You know what was thick? Her head. Like it was like, damn, the bitch's head's huge. Like she as she grew older, her head grew larger. It was amazing. And they're like, you know what we can do? Let's make her hair
Sounds like a
have more
Schoolhouse
volume.
Rock song.
That'll hide it. And that it didn't hide it. You know what I mean? Real big noggin. But yeah, you know what? Let's get to it. My what if for the night. Mine's real Bogardian conspiracy theory and shit like that. Like, okay, we're about to have poor quality football when there's no Aaron Rodgers, quote unquote, right? Like whenever something like that
The
happens, to
State
one of
Farm
your
Bowl?
stars, yeah, we don't like that shit. That shit sucks, right? But people will still tune in, and like they made it this year with the TV contracts where they were like, we're not moving games, so the game's set in stone when it's gonna be. And here's all these new protocols. And here's Aaron Rodgers. He
flexing.
lied about his shit. He didn't get vaccinated, and now because of the protocol, even if it was a false positive, he's in the protocol too late. He can't get in. You know what I mean? So he's out, right? So here's my what if. What if this is a way they start moving the little chess pieces of what organizations they want to flourish. For example, Aaron Rodgers has been doing a lot of fuck shit that the league probably doesn't like just being honest. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't like my GM. He sucks. Like, you know, he came out and said shit like this, right? And like he's
Then lying
really
about being immunized. Vaccinated.
Exactly. Like shit like that. They don't like that. They're like, you know what? And then here's another organization like the Chiefs that's a big draw, and they're looking like ass, averaging 18 points a game, like versus like their regular 30 burgers that they would put up before under the Mahomes era. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you know what? Let's throw them a bone. You know what I mean? We're gonna it's Mahomes versus J Love now. You know what I mean? And like, because it's not just happening to regular players, it's happening all the time. Key players are getting the Rona. And like, look at the
I don't know, man. The Giants are already ass, and the whole team got that shit.
See what I'm saying? They're like, we're gonna make sure that Giants stay ass. Hey, listen, Goodell, he's like a Giants fan, isn't he? He's from
They're getting too good.
He's probably like, you know what? I need them to get a higher pick. You know what I mean? Like, listen, man,
dude, why don't they go get him?
Here's another thing. This is kind of going on an extreme Bogard tangent. You would think I'm on mushrooms, but look at this. Why nowadays we go to New York? You know what? Let's go to New York for the call. Who is that? Is that the mafia? Like, who's pulling the strings? How come the referees on the field can't do it? You got to go to the office in
Why isn't that man in Philadelphia?
You know what I
Why
mean?
isn't that man in Vegas or Washington?
Exactly. So wouldn't you think there is some man there that's like, you know what? These COVID things, this is how we're going to manipulate all kind of shit that we want to manipulate. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I knew mine's really what iffy conspiracy theory. I don't really come to this show with this type of shit. But I was like, yeah,
it just sounds less credible when they're like, let's go to Des Moines, Iowa for the call. Like,
they have the tallest buildings. They have the tallest.
Let's go to Paisan in New York.
They got the highest drones in New York.
If there's a show to bring it up on it, there's a show to bring it up on. It's this one because we're talking about. I mean, sometimes it's a little bit outlandish just because we like to come up with crazy stuff. But we've already heard things about the mob, you know, fixing games and all this type of stuff. Like, I'm sure there are big contributors behind the scenes to a lot of different things.
It's probably not that far-fetched.
What it is, here you want a far-fetched answer. What it is they got a really, really, really tall buildings there in New York. So what they got, but just guys with crazy binoculars that can look from those buildings down.
They got the most high-powered telescopes. They're just, you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen.
Let's call on the guys can see from up top. Get them.
They got the satellite imagery, everything, man. Listen, I believe it all. I seen the Will Smith movie.
Bill Belichick's system.
That shit stuck with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Enemy of the state shit. Listen, this dude, Aaron Rodgers, though, right? He was fine. I saw him on the McAfee show on Tuesday. He was fine.
Maybe he's asymptomatic.
I'm just saying, though.
He's John Wicking it over Halloween weekend. And
then, okay, here's another thing, too. It's because he's not vaccinated too. So there goes the other agenda that they're not trying to push. They are pushing.
Well, and here you go, right here.
The NFL has a longer protocol for people who are unvaccinated. Obviously, I mean, if you guys didn't know, that's why he can't make it in time for this game. Had he probably been vaccinated, it might have, you know, with some negative tests, he could have been able to play this week.
What do you guys think about this? So Manny said, I don't get how the NFL thinks they have the right to expose unvaxxed players. That's no one's business. They really like to dig into people's personal lives.
I mean, okay, there's a movie, and this stuck with me since I was a kid, and this kind of in 90s theme too, right? But it was Damien, it was Keenan, it was the Keenan Wayans, Keenan Ivory Wayans, and I think it was Bruce Willis, and or was it
Devil in the Blue Dress? Or what is it?
It was a movie where he was a former,
The Last Boy Scout. The Last Boy Scout.
He was an athlete. He was an athlete, right?
The Last Boy Scout.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Exactamundo. And he said like this. He goes, you know why?
Great movie, by the way. Go check it out, youngins.
He said, the world needs to know why athletes are hurt. He said, because so the Vegas lines can be more accurate. Because he's like big money, mafia, all this shit, organized crime, it runs it all. And you know, and that makes sense though, because when you go to the doctor and you're like, doctor, you know, my left ball, it's real swole, right? The doctor has to be like, this is fucking patient doctor confidentiality. But in sports, it doesn't exist because they need to know for the betting lines, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because this is already going to make a difference potentially on next week.
Listen. I swear to God, if I'm in sports and I had a swole somewhere, you're gonna know. They're like, oh yeah, he's glued. Like we know everything.
Yeah, well, they have to give an injury report and a disclosure from practice reports, and the media has to be allowed to be there.
When you're NFL royalty like the Patriots, how come they are so vague with their shit? You know what I mean? Remember when Tom Brady fucked his whole thumb up on Rex Burkhead's helmet, in practice on the way to the Super Bowl against the Eagles, right? And he lacerated his shit, and they're like, and you know what they said? Oh, it was a hand injury. It was nothing. You know what I mean? Because they're royalty. Anybody else, bro? They're like, oh, they got pictures of it. Oh, it's laceration, required X amount of stitches, and blah blah blah, and then the lines will drop. You know what I mean? Or you get what I'm saying? Like it's so weird. Look at Tom Brady now. When he brought that royalty over, it's like basketball players when they're young, they don't get their calls till they're royalty, right? Steph,
I just dislike Tom Brady's cleat game. Like, I don't know what that shit is. It's like like if he's wearing New Balance dad shoes, but they're cleats and then they're taped. I don't know what. Go check it out next time you see it. They're like Air Force One cleats or something.
Are they made of avocados?
I have no idea, dude. But they bother me. I can't stand to look at them. It's like, what is going on with your shoe game right now?
People wear Yeezys. Maybe that's part of it, huh? Look at my shoes. Look at it.
I don't know, man. But TJ Watt has the best shoe game out there. He has the the yellow and black Air Jordan 1 cleats. Those are pretty dope. They look badass in yellow and black out there.
Listen, man, Tom Brady's he's doing it all wrong. He needs the UGG cleats, bruh.
Maybe he's wearing Uggs, and that's why they just look so bad.
Yeah, but
what if Tom Brady is playing in Uggs?
Before we get to our next what if, we got to talk about one of the sponsors of the show. You've heard us talking about it before. We got to talk about it again. Super Draft Pro. It is a new daily fantasy platform. You guys got to go get on this right now. DraftKings, it is saturated with sharks. FanDuel, saturated with sharks. It's legal in all 50 states. And you can get in right away for free on smaller paying out contests. And it's all subscription based. That's how it's legal in every state. So if you're in Texas, if you're in Hawaii, some of these states where you cannot get access to this is where you do it right here. Super Draft Pro. Check out this video. It's going to explain a lot. And we'll be back here in a second.
In a world where hope was fading, and isolation was growing between friends, family, and fun. And people began to yearn for a better way to earn.
Okay, we've had enough drama in recent history. It's time to reconnect, kick off the game, and play to win cash and prizes. Super Draft Pro is the official fantasy partner of Caesars Entertainment. Yes, that's Caesars. This isn't your grandmother's bingo night. Imagine the exciting chance opportunity of Las Vegas, only bigger, in the palm of your hand. And imagine the energy of the crowd and the love of your favorite game, connecting you and literally every single person you know playing daily fantasy sports, all while getting paid. This is Super Draft Pro, and you can stop imagining. Experience it for yourself. Simply download the Super Draft app and sign up by creating an account. Be a player. Or be a coach building teams of players with a range of membership packages that suit your level of interest. And guess what? We know, and you probably know too, that this is a multi-billion-dollar industry with roughly 60 million people playing in North America alone. So, what's new or different about the Super Draft Pro that's actually a game changer? That's an easy answer. And I literally mean easy. The Super Draft app is super user-friendly, so playing is easy. So when you play, your chances to win can be easier than other traditional fantasy sports games. It's also set up to level the playing field with our exclusive patent-pending games, which allow you to pick the players you like and the players you trust. This is your draft, your way. See? This really is changing how the game is played. And it's even a game changer for business, because not only can you get paid to play, you can get paid when other people play when you become a Super Draft promoter by sharing the app. Making money doesn't have to be a grind. Turn your business based at home into your home-based playground, getting paid to play, having fun wherever you are. Because this virtual model is high speed and low drag, SuperDraft Pro plans to eventually capture the imagination of the world by going global with a simple, proven business that never sleeps. Join the fun. Play, get paid, and tell everybody. Download the SuperDraft and Sportsbook app today. Available on iOS and Android.
SuperDraft Pro, rated F, UN.
Okay, that's enough. You're done.
I like it because there was just a half second. It was just a half second before they said the letter N, so it's rated FUN. a little slight there. I like it.
And this shit is fun. JC Money, he won in his second day. He took first in a contest, tied. I think it was almost $10 that he won. He's on the $20 subscription, paid for like half of it, like right there. Just in one
I have
shot.
a free play. It didn't cost me. Cost me my subscription. I've already got that half back. And off the other free plays,
Nice.
I need to get, $5 more or $6 more, or I think it's like $4 more until my subscription is paid off, and that's just off free plays, and I still have whole month left.
Yeah.
So let's get it. Get in on it.
Free
Links are in the chat. Links are in the description. Bogart will have his link really soon. So everyone who wants to sign up with Bogart, he'll have that link real soon.
Yeah, I'm already in there. I'm just not in there yet. You know what I mean? I'll be doing that.
He's hokey pokey. He has 1 foot in and 1 foot out, but the other foot's going in.
I be turning myself around like twice though, where I end up in the same spot. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want me in there. I'm about to win all the money. Give me the money. Give me it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so let's go to Peacock. What you got on the what if?
Yeah, I was gonna say Bogart's gonna have me joining on that, and he's gonna have me betting on guys like what if Trevor Siemian takes over, or what if Mike White takes over and runs with the Jets.
His name is White Mike, the Great White Hope, because everybody hopes that he can come through if you're streaming him in a super flex. Because I'm actually doing that. I think is probably one of the big things. We know that there's some slightly significant. I don't even know what's going on with the injury news as far as Zach Wilson, but we do know that he has some knee injury that he's dealing with, and that the other guy who just stepped in out of nowhere tore it up in his first appearance in relief. The Great White Hope.
The great,
He ain't playing.
White.
Hey guys, I gotta go get a little late on my side. Y'all be safe. All right. I gotta go.
For sure,
you got
TD.
it.
All right,
Hey,
TD.
appreciate you pulling up, man. See you in a couple days.
Yep.
Sure,
no problem.
please.
Appreciate you.
I should have went to TD first for the thing. I was looking at the time like both of them are gonna have to go soon. But yeah, continue, Peacock.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, what if he runs with it? What if the Jets have this guy in Zach Wilson, who's obviously he's okay, but we do know that the coach's response when asked if White was going to start next week was just a straight up smirk smile, like he's ready to rock and roll with it. So I think that this could be something to monitor. Obviously, as you mentioned, in super flex leagues, if you probably try to pick him up and have him in dynasty somewhere or whatnot. But is this something that we could look at going forward? I mean, guys like Michael Carter got double-digit targets. The offense was productive. They got another win.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Unbelievable.
Listen,
what
it's
if?
almost like they're only big game hunters, right? Because listen, they're like, yeah, you know what? Like, what I'm saying, we really get smashed by the team.
These are the games we can win.
Yeah, like you know what? We're gonna go ahead and beat up the Titans. Let's do it, right?
And watch him just beat up the Colts this week somehow and push them so far out of playoff contention, like right away in week 9, push them out of playoff contention.
I won't be surprised.
That'd be horrible because I'm playing the Colts defense in at least 2 leagues. So
look at this. Listen, man, this is why I love doing fantasy news today with us, because he just carefully documents all these things. Like the Colts are just beat up on every side of the ball. It's crazy. You know what I mean? There's gonna be no Quentin Nelson more than likely, right? You know what I mean?
Safety, Kyrie Willis.
Kyrie Willis
out.
is out. Their corners are still banged up. You know what I mean? Like it's there's some factors here, but still, but the one key thing is their linebacker core is intact. You know what I mean? And they got some speedy ass linebackers. And for what
and
the
they
Jets
got Michael
like
Carter and Mike White.
That's what I'm saying. And even Ty Johnson. It's like they're doing the same thing, either or Ty Johnson or Michael Carter. Just they're scheming these guys open in the flat, and like, but these are speedy linebackers that can close in on that real fast. That's the one caveat where, like, maybe we see the great white hope go down the field this time. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no Corey Davis. I don't think I wouldn't imagine, right?
No.
Is Corey Davis playing?
Tips messed up.
No.
I think they finally just realized that their best playmakers are Carter and Ty Johnson, and you better just figure out how to get them the ball a lot.
I mean, isn't that
Yeah,
they're like the
that's a minor
Lions.
thing, man?
Elijah Moore might be stepping it up a little bit.
I do like Elijah
that's
Moore.
true.
Like, I'm a Niner fan. This is Mike LaFleur over there. Came from my Niners. You know what I mean? The Shanahan disciple. And lo and behold, look at the running backs are eating like crazy in fantasy. And then you have Elijah Moore, who they're giving end arounds and they're giving him little short passes out of the slot. Like they're using him like how we use Debo. And he's not Debo though, because Debo's Debo because he trucks people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying though, like
Megatron Light or something.
Yeah, like it's the scheme. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing. And
The scheme is
here's another caveat. This same scheme just gashed them up real fast on a rainy night with literal atmospheric river action. Remember that over here in Santa Clara,
monsoon.
And then the Niners. But Matt Eberflus over there, the DC for the Colts, they made the quick adjustment. So like and I will say, Carson Wentz, he be trying to give these games away. You know what I mean? He be trying to give them away. Like so, like
you got to check his. You have to check his ties with the mafia or something.
Yeah, for real though. You know what I mean? I mean, you know what? Isn't it such a mafia thing? Like, hey, look here. We're gonna give you 2 sprained ankles. You know what I mean? Because I've never heard of that. Like,
you need 2 ridiculous turnovers a game.
Tell him he got 2. Tell him he got 3 sprained ankles. I don't care what you tell him. He's not playing. Like, bro, like it was just, and then last minute he plays week 1, right? Isn't that crazy? Like, oh, he's gonna play with 2 sprained ankles. You know what I mean? It was
yeah. They released one of his under his PI guy found out where his wife was and she was saved, so he was able to play that week.
You gotta go look at how close their score affects the over under and how many points are they missing by on the spread, things like that. Because if it's real close, then we know there's some ties there.
You know what's funny is shout out
Crash and burn could be ugly. I'm just saying what if. I'm trying to the what ifs are just supposed to be out there, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Just to get us thinking. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm just saying, what if it does? We talked about what the Raiders several weeks ago. Like, what if they make a Super Bowl run? This was like fucking 4 weeks ago, and they're still in the top of the division. So what the hell?
Right, the best. That's after all
the crap that's happened still recently. So who knows?
You know what's crazy is these are one of those things that they need. Like, okay, if you're a Raiders team, you're like, yeah, all right, our coach, he was a fucking piece of shit, racist, bigot, homophobic. He's out of here. You know what I mean? And then they're living in Sin City where there's all the temptation everywhere. You got a super devout Christian quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, listen, when you're in Vegas or
That's
Reno,
true.
right? When you're in Vegas or Reno, there's always a guy out there in the streets on the sidewalks, and he'll be like, Jesus loves you.
The end is near.
You know what I mean? This and that. There's always some guy trying to save everybody. Bro, when you're in Vegas, if you look bro closely, it's Derek Carr out there. You know what I mean? He's handing out Jesus pamphlets. You know what I'm saying? He's like, Jesus love you. He's the only one that's not fucking up in Sin City because look at the young kids that aren't prepared for it. You know what I mean? Like, look at how disciplined Waller is. Waller's so disciplined, he's in recovery still to this day because he used to be an addict, and he could be a professional in Las Vegas. That's the guy you need to look up to. You know what I'm saying? But you got youngsters like Henry Ruggs just fucking his whole opportunities in life up, and now other people's lives costed because of it. Going $160.
Yeah, supposedly it was 18 shots. I was like, that's wildly irresponsible.
You know what's crazy?
You do a couple of shots.
This is what I don't get. Motherfuckers can do they can get legal guns if you don't have no record, but they want the joint with the 18 and they're keeping one in the chamber too. Like, and they probably got hollow tips and they're doing the extra thing. You know what? Motherfuckers, I'm surprised you got the 18. That's old school. Nowadays, motherfuckers be having the 30 clips. They be having the 30
Call of Duty out
these
there.
days, bruh. They be having the thing poking out, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even put that in your pants discreet. It's like a style.
Look,
now.
bro, I'm from Texas, and I'm telling you it's overkill.
Right?
Yeah. But anyway, that was my what if, and I hate to dip, but it is my night to put the kiddos to bed.
No,
I will be
back.
If,
man.
Oh yeah, it was a pleasure hanging out with all y'all, man. Tonight, you guys have a good one. Keep it going, keep it strong. It's been fun. This show was actually ridiculously cool tonight. I had a good time talking about everything. So make sure you check me out on Twitter at ff_Peacock right there. Sunday mornings when I'm not hungover from Halloween parties, right, Bogard? I will be on with Bogard and Clock Management over on Clock Management's YouTube channel. So check that out. With our early morning or last minute start sit advice.
We're going to be on like the fantasy network now, or whatever. I forget what it's called.
That is correct. The fantasy network just picked us up, so be on the lookout for that. We'll share the details, but you can find us. You can find me there and Clock Management where he's at, and find me wherever you find Bogard, really. And we'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Pleasure.
Peacock.
Got it.
There we go. And so I'll throw my what if right now. So like Manny said here, so Michael Thomas is out for the season. Well, I mean, first little what if, we talked about it earlier, like what if he planned like doing exactly this like way back when in March or whenever all this drama started happening. He probably already knew he was going to do this. That's what I think. But my what if is, what if he goes over, like somehow gets traded to the Washington football team next year when they got to grip a cap room and Washington's there making some splashes with Michael Thomas.
And they they also go out and they acquire Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, see, I like this. Now we're having fun here. Listen, this is where it gets fun.
Dude, that team would be ridiculous.
There's a lot of things that Aaron Rodgers needs. He's going to need a lot of weapons. He already saw Brady do it. So he's not going to pussy. He's not going to pussyfoot with this shit. This is why I'm constantly putting Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh for all these same reasons I'm about to say for Washington right now, because you have a respectable coach who's been there, right?
And they have cap space about 63 mil for next year that's opened up.
So you get Rodgers 30 mil because he's not asking a lot, because Rodgers is at
he just wants to win a Super Bowl.
Exactly. He's at the point of his life.
They could do that. Oh my God, they could do that.
Yeah, because they got hella money already, and they want everyone else. They already know the business at this point. It's like old wrestlers, you know what I mean? They know the business. They know the youngsters. They got to get their bag. So in order to do that, you got to take some team friendly shit. So now if you go over
just there's more money. There's going to be more money to be thrown around. That is one thing too.
And
so
Rivera could be the guy to turn that team around like that too, with a team like that.
Your Montez Sweats, your Chase Youngs, all those guys that they're gonna have to pay coming up in another year, that'll be fine, because you have one more year before you got to pay those guys. I think Sweat will come up. You probably hit him with an extension. I mean, him being hurt right now, and then that's gonna hurt his production. He'll probably take a team friendlier deal. I mean, there's a lot of, and then you bring over Michael Thomas, his existing deal. What is it, like 20 million?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you still have McLaurin. See, McLaurin's going to be interesting here, though, because McLaurin's going to be up for extension.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But maybe he's not asking too much. I mean, but see, here's another thing. I would look at someone like Kenny Galladay and be like, Look at what he got, bro. Give me that then. Because Kenny Galladay ain't shit. And you know what I mean? And he got a cool bag from the Giants. And they right across the way in that division. So you can still work this. Maybe he gets 14 million. You know what I mean? A year.
And I think because of Brady, I mean, we saw how everyone was willing to take team-friendly deals because of Brady. People would do the same shit for Rodgers.
Oh, for sure.
How crazy is do we go out the window for the JD McKissicks and the Antonio Gibsons as well? Because that's just like immediately that helps. Immediately that helps the running backs. Because now especially if you have a Michael Thomas who could literally be like the best slot receiver ever. You know what I mean? Like, and then you have McLaurin out wide. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll probably draw someone. You'll probably draw somebody, whoever's in the free. Maybe Will Fuller, the god awful Will Fuller goes there, and all he has to do is be the outside streaker opposite. Then he can serve his purpose because there will be a guy that can fucking put the ball right on him.
Brandon Cooks.
But see, Brandon Cooks is, I think he's
there for
another year.
They got to get rid of Curtis Samuel and bring in Brandon Cooks. Because he'd probably be cheap. He'd be like, all right, dude, let's go. I'm doing this for both you guys. He's crazy. That team would be ridiculous.
Hold on. This is good. Scratch the Will Fuller thing. Fuck Will Fuller, the fifth, and his whole lineage, right? Fuck them. Let's go back to Curtis Samuel. When Curtis Samuel was with the same regime in Carolina, they used him as a field stretcher. They didn't really use him as the gadget guy much.
His air yards
exactly. Hey, but he had bum ass Kyle Allen throwing him and all that last year.
His air yards were insane.
They were ridiculous. They were so many unrecognized. And like, so maybe you don't need to bring an outside burner because you still have Curtis Samuel, and that could be a reason they tucking him away. You know what I mean? See, here's what's funny about being in the NFC East is you don't have you can still try to compete for the division, and then no matter how you finish, you're still going to get a good pick because whoever's winning the division is. I mean, actually, I guess the Cowboys can get 9 wins, right? 10 wins this year. I'll say they get 10 wins. And that's definitely winning that division because everyone else is going to get 6 or 7 wins at most. You know what I mean? And I'm saying I'm the Washington football team. I mean, you know what I mean? They'll probably get 6 or 7 wins.
I am liking this. What if though? If Rodgers goes there and then they acquire Thomas, that would be pretty ridiculous. That team, especially with the defense, if they can kind of step things up a little bit.
And if you're going to trade for Thomas in the offseason, right? You already know how the team's finished. Washington is on the way to being one, having a top 10 pick. The Saints will be like, yeah, give me that. You know what I mean? Here's Michael Thomas. Give me the first and a second, and you just take all the money. You pay for everything. Because that's another thing too. I thought someone would be willing to trade for him before the deadline, and then have the Saints front the bill this year. Because I think he's only owed $8 million against the cap or something like that this year. So they could easily eat that. But it just didn't happen because you didn't see him on the field. How are you going to advertise, the guy?
Isn't that what the same thing that happened with Von Miller? They just ate didn't he have 9 million? Wasn't it a 7?
Bogard says that I was wrong about that, but I swore I saw that somewhere.
Which one?
The Von Miller.
No, I didn't say you were wrong about that. They fronted half the bill. The 18 million he's owed, they're paying 9 of it.
Okay, yeah. So that
you were right. I didn't argue this. I didn't argue this with you because I thought that was phenomenal. Because you that I was so dumbfounded because obviously when you're breaking that news to me and I'm like, what? You know what I mean? While we're live, and I'm so dumbfounded because I'm like, God damn, the Rams just keep doing it. That's some Bogard shit. Hey, bro, here. Let me get Von Miller off of you. But you gotta pay. You go like this. This is how I would say it. I'd be like, bro, give me Von Miller. He already played half the year, so you pay half the bread.
Dude, they only paid a 6th-round pick for him too. I think
it's a compensatory, or it's
no.
They got a 2 and a 3, right?
A 2nd and a 3rd.
Oh,
yeah, and then a compensatory 6.
I don't know what I heard then.
That was Kenny Young. That was Kenny Young that they traded away for a 6th.
Oh,
there it is.
I was
hey, listen. If I'm the Rams, I'm doing this all day because what are these picks gonna do? Let's just go grab everybody right now. The money's going up next year. We'll figure it out next year.
Von Miller's healthy. With Aaron Donald, he's going to be getting all the work. I mean, then,
Do you remember Von Miller got banged up on a Thursday night?
You know what I'm saying?
Remember,
the outside.
Thursday night. We're
2 weeks ago.
We will remember this as the legendary D'Ernest Johnson night, right? But Von Miller, he was down for the count and he left the game. He never came back, right? And you know what? I don't think he was that hurt. He did get banged up, obviously, but I think they were like, you know what? It's finito. You know what I mean? We got to keep him, put bubble wrap on him now. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna move his ass.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps getting hurt. We already know. I mean, the Broncos aren't doing anything to where they need him this year. I mean, maybe next year, but then that'll be the end of his contract or whatever. So.
And it'll be the end of Vic Fangio experiment too. Like this, they expect full revamp next year. You know what I mean? Of the coaching staff. You know what I mean?
Extra second and a third. I mean, that's an extra, wide. I mean, maybe not wide receiver, but I mean, that's for sure like a linebacker or a DB or something there. Yeah. Maybe an extra running back or something because Gordon's going to be gone. Who knows?
I mean, if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm probably going to go do these interviews this year. Because remember last year, he's like, nah, I ain't doing no interviews. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he's probably gonna now he's gonna be like, shit, I gotta get me a head coaching job before I got no more opportunity. You know what I mean? Because now it's like if they don't have a good year with the Chiefs right now, you know what I mean? They might not be ringing his phone right now. You know what I mean? I mean, he's basically he's basically calling the plays. He's the OC over there. I mean, I know it's obviously a combined collaborative effort with Andy Reid, and Andy Reid probably has his thumbprint on everything. But you know what I mean? If I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm gonna go somewhere where it's like gonna be wide open, free for me. Chicago's like a nice spot too. What if? How about that? Let's play that game real quick.
Let me get my what if in too.
Okay, yeah.
Well, hold on real quick before you get your what if in. I got to shout out Stu again. So every Wednesday, I think it is that they have their show on Jobu Sports where they pick against the spread. And Stu said so far this year he's picking 56% against the spread. So shout out to
Stu. Coin flip, bro. Let's go, Stu.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
You ain't telling me to pick, Stu. I like money.
Yeah, so Stu's got to start sharing those picks, or we got to start tapping in.
Tune in, yeah.
And then he gave us a what if as well. He said, "What if when I'm out of the hospital in a few weeks, I come on the what if series with you, Bogard, Justin, Fantasy Good, bruh." And he said, and then on the Jobu Sports Report for a show about the Cowboys, get you guys on for a Cowboy talk and fantasy football talk.
Oh yeah, man! Dial it all up. Put it on the docket.
I'm always down.
Dial it all up.
There we go.
Off top.
And Stu said before this year he did predict the Cowboys to be 12-5. But one thing that I will say, I'm sure every year that most Cowboy fans are saying 12-5.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean, or a version of that, 12-4 with the 16 or whatever.
It's always we're going to the Super Bowl. It's always that. It's always the our year. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, man, they took a lot of big injuries, man. Like even like their depth is going away on their linebacker core. They get rid of Jalen Smith, Jabril Cox, the rookie. He's done for the year. Like, you know what I mean? You got Michael Parsons playing everything, D end, fucking, you know what I mean?
Shout out to
linebacker, inside linebacker.
Shout out to Stu, who said that Jalen Smith was a bum, and not, he always says it's not it's not him personally. He just sucks at playing football, and then he gets cut from the Cowboys, and now he gets cut from the Packers. So Stu knows his shit.
Yeah, hey, listen, Jalen Smith ain't nobody like you.
Micah Parsons is balling.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's defensive rookie of the year for surely.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be up there. I think he's got to get his stats up though. That's for sure.
Yeah, because you know what, because Bruh on
TD.
I'm trying to think of who the other highly drafted defensive guys. You know what? We'll get back to that. But yeah. Go ahead, Rock. What's your what if, Justin?
All right, so you know what? I figured out how to make mine this week what if, since I did the Jeremy McNichols what if last time, and it came true.
And you fucking killed Derrick Henry right then and there, didn't you?
What? That was a while ago.
I know, but now in hindsight, it was like you were highlighting the guy.
He's good, man.
No, I'm just saying though that now like he could be like a focal point.
He's strong too. I think he's a strong dude too. He's just different. I think he catches the ball a lot more, and I think he's a guy after the catch where he can do a lot of stuff. My stuff, it's not going to be on him, though, because I already did that. So
I'm just saying, though, it's funny in hindsight, because then right then and there, it's like you have the sight.
Well, I mean,
you're foreseeing that Derrick Henry
with all the receivers out, a guy that is really good at catching is going to get a lot of. He's going to be. I mean, and he's a really good after the catch. So I figured that since there was no receivers, this other guy that's a running back can come in.
I'm just saying, you killed Derrick Henry.
I didn't kill Derrick Henry. I would never want that to happen because he's in one of my leagues that I have him. It's just like this. It's just like boom. No. Anyways, so with Noah Fant going out with COVID, and let's say Tyler Conklin, or was his name's Tyler Conklin, right?
Yeah.
He was a top 10 tight end last week against Dallas. My what if is, what if Albert, and it's Albert
O.
It's Okweg Boonham. Albert Okweg Boonham. What if he is a top 10 tight end this week? I think that it can happen, especially with Noah Fant out. I think he's actually better than Fant is.
Listen, he can do nothing but catch one ball for 6. Right?
He's actually very efficient.
I know. I'm just saying, though, he can catch one. He can have one for like 20 in a tug, and he's in there.
He'll be good for like three. I mean, he could even do 3 for 16 and a touchdown, and you're good. That's a top 10 tight end. I mean, it's crazy.
I
But
think
anyways,
he
can do it.
I think
he can do 4 for 40. Like he'd be 4 for 50 and a touchdown this week.
The cover 3 smothers everything on the outside too, so that's why the tight end always eats against that scheme. You know what I mean? And even when you do when they switch over to like the from the cover 3 to like the what is it called, the shell defense? I mean, they probably won't do that too much to Teddy B. But even when they do that, the middle of the field just opens some more. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I like this call. This is a great call. I mean, and there's no Noah Fant. That's the key here. Like, you know what I mean? He's gonna soak, and because Teddy B, for what it's worth, he is the president. Teddy throws the road, but he throws short.
Actually, a really good tight end. He was a really, really, really good tight end in college, and he's just
didn't
hurt.
get
he
it.
just keeps getting hurt. He just keeps getting hurt. That's the problem.
I just didn't get why draft him though the year after you draft Noah Fant in the first round, and you go and grab Albert.
I think they wanted to run 2 tight ends.
I mean, that is a Pat Shurmur. That is a Pat Shurmur thing. You're aware of that because that's what he did for years with like Kyle Rudolph and whoever else the fuck it was. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they went out and picked up Irv Smith when we had,
No, I'm just saying though that for years that's what Pat Shurmur did with Shaw, and he's over there in Denver. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah, because he was responsible for the Noah Fant draft picks and the Albert O's, and then this year with the Javonte Williams. Like I just, it's all there. It's just not working. It's because fucking Melvin Gordon. Fuck him. He's the guy I should be starting every week over. In the Dream to Walk League, I have both Javonte and Melvin Gordon. And I just always play Javonte, and in bye week spots, I put both of them in. And like Melvin Gordon just always eats, bro. It's pissing me off.
Always.
Yeah, I'm too wired. I'm wired too tough to go to higher upside every time, instead of just dull, boring like production. That's so stupid. But yeah,
it's always fun to try to get at least somebody in here to do like a weekly one to see if we can hit on a weekly one.
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
I like to shoot big. Like the Nichols one was kind of big because like
before last week, that's what we did.
Same thing with
we basically did that every week until last week because we had like a little different Halloween theme-ish. You know what I'm saying? But I will say I got one for this week. What if White Mike, bro, the Great White Hope, goes out there?
Should too. I think so.
I mean, I just want to echo Peacock's. You know what I mean? Because Peacock's joint, like I feel that one. Like I like him. It's up to -11 Colts right now. I'll take the Jets to cover. I'm a madman.
What if PJ Walker comes in and he puts up good enough numbers to get them a win this week?
Yeah, I mean that would also be like,
he is actually I think he's a good quarterback too. He
was cool. We saw a sample size of him in the NFL last year, one game or like a game and a half or something like that, and like he definitely likes to go down the field. This is like, what I mean, this I like this for Robbie Anderson, but I also want to say like he's just a guy. You know what I mean?
Of course he's just a guy.
There's reasons why he's there, but he's just a guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he played what in the XFL, right?
He was the shit there, but those imagine like your starters in the
He was
XFL
like
are
the best player of the XFL.
starters in the XFL like fourth and fifth stringers in the league.
Oh, I know that.
I mean?
I mean, and not even fourth or fifth stringers. Like it's literally guys who can't even make
Practice
the roster.
squad.
Like fallouts. I mean, probably not even practice squad. Like probably like even a notch, below them. But they're like a notch above those arena guys. I mean, really, that's what it was. Is PJ Walker was the skinniest kid at Fat Camp, is really what it was. But still the skinniest kid. He took the award.
Right.
I think he's got some
PJ walk this way. You know what I mean?
But he could probably do something to help DJ Moore. I mean,
all right. Listen, I don't know what happened with DJ Moore, bro. Like it was just on. And then it's just
spooky season came.
Well,
season came.
Yeah, but you know what? It's the first week of November. That means spooky season is over. So that's why we need to see Darnold get back right now. October is over. November is here. Time to get your head out of your ass.
He looks like a good coach.
Knocked down a little bit. So he's like, all right, I'm going to get back up. It's a new month. Everything's done. All the ghosts are gone. All right.
I ain't going to lie. He really needs CMC.
I mean, if you play on the same team with CMC, I don't give a shit who you are. You need CMC.
Yeah. It's funny. Sam Darnold's like, I came here for CMC, bro. Yeah, a little bit of sample size.
Little sample size.
But same thing though with Teddy B last year. So I mean, it's really like the constant right now is the Panthers. Like, what do they expect when the best player on your team goes out? Because now they don't like Darnold. Or at least that's the consensus. Like the exact shit that happened last year.
Yeah, he started playing. He beat all the bad teams like he should. You know what I mean? Like he should beat the bad teams, and then you go ahead and you lose to the good teams. Like the Cowboys, if they would have put up a fight with the Cowboys, would have been a different story. Like maybe like okay.
But he had CMC for 2.5 of those though, right?
He had CMC for 1.5 games, right? Because he went out week 2. They had the week 2 Thursday nighter. Right, or was it the week 3? So it was.
It was week 3.
So it was like 2. Yeah. Okay. So it was like 2.5 games. Yeah.
So there you go. Makes sense. Those are the only games they won. Mm-hmm. The games that he was there, of course.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that be that way that it goes?
Well, they
down?
did beat the Falcons. I expected them to beat the Falcons. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because the Falcons are another one of those teams. They only beat the bad teams. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Hold on. We got to drop for teams like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back up the track.
I think
it ain't a Brinks truck.
You know what I'm saying? It's that dump truck. And on that note, you know what I mean? We didn't took out the garbage. I think we'll put a ball on this one for the evening, gentlemen.
Let's get it. Yeah. So this is dope. I love this. I love this series because we always get to talk about some outlandish shit. And then a lot of our what ifs have actually been hitting. So that's why I like this. That's why I like this show. So thanks for everyone rocking with me on my channel here. We're also streaming on the GMM network. So make sure you go show some love there. And go follow me everywhere. Just go to fantasyfootballhustler.com. Literally click on every link. Go follow me. All the podcasts out there. Go show some love.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, JC Money, let them know where they can find you, bruh.
Well, I guess I just got a Twitter handle right now. JC Money Design. You can find me on Twitter, but I got to get the Instagram up, get some of my design work. If anybody needs any logos, any thumbnails, any of that stuff, any graphic design work, any of that stuff, I pretty much do anything. So I'm always up for looking for new work.
Yeah, somebody gonna give you some money, bruh. You know what I mean? And us, let them know, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they pretty much know where they can find us. You know what I mean? But I'm like, let them know.
Yeah, every single weekday, Monday through Friday, you got to tap in. It's turned into the flagship shows on both of our channels right now. Fantasy News Today. You got to tap in. We're breaking down all the news. So if you're anywhere other than YouTube right now, you go to my YouTube channel, Fantasy Football Hustler. You go to Bogard's channel, which is the GMM network. So make sure you go get there, sub up, turn on all the notifications.
Bomb. This is a blast, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, man. You know what I mean? Thank you for coming on, brother. And y'all already know what time it is. The earth is my turf, universe, give me money, all that shit. Hey.
Peace out.
Hit him with the run pass option. I run shit or I shred from the pocket. I'm always shopping, I'm always copping. They always pray I'm falling like leaves an item. Hey, what could I say? I make plays every day. Catch me with a thick one, make her pay what she weigh. And then some. Welcome to my kingdom. Really in the field, never got my feet up. Go hard, push a hard line. Yeah. Been around, peep the archives, yeah. Off top, it's a long grind. You don't need to watch to see that it's hard time, yeah. I'm counting chips, finna take the chip. You counterfeits, better pay attention. I'm about a chick, catch me in my bag.